Thanks for joining us on 13 Plus. I'm Lauren Baker. On Monday, April 28th, the trial of former Grand Rapids police officer Christopher Scher will begin at the 17th Circuit Court in Grand Rapids. In April of 2022, Officer Scher pulled over Patrick Loyola during a traffic stop in the city's southeast side. After a brief interaction with Loyola, a struggle ensued, which resulted in Officer Scher shooting Patrick Loyola in the back of the head, killing him. We spoke with John Riley, a former Grand Rapids police officer who now runs a program called Gentle Response. It's a de-escalation program that Riley brings to businesses, churches, and other organizations across the country. We asked Riley to watch and react to the body camera footage showing the full encounter with both Scher and Loyola. This was his reaction.
1913.
Hey, stay in the car! Stay in the car! Stay in the car! Get in the car! Dude, I'm stopping you. Do you have a license? Do you have a license?
For what?
I'm stopping you. Do you have a license?
What that?
Do you have a driver's license? Do you speak English?
Yes.
Can I see your license?
What that is on?
The plate doesn't belong on this car.
By now, I would have wondered if this guy's intoxicated just because of my own experiences. I was the go-to guy when it came to drunk driver enforcement and stuff like that. So again, leading up to this, traffic stop, legitimate traffic stop, and then all of a sudden we got a guy bailing out. This is not normal. As a former driver's ed instructor, and I know that the vast majority of the country who are law-abiding and understand the policies, procedures, and boundaries, how to behave properly when you're stopped by the police, is not to do this, because this is fraught with so much potential danger for the police officer. I don't know who you are, but you just came out of that car pretty damn quick. And so I'm going to use my tone of voice to try to maintain a certain amount of control right here. Just stay in the car, stay in the car. Now, Chris is, and anytime I'm asking someone about a driver's license and they play dumb, my alert level starts going up now. What for? Why you stop me? You know, it comes across as you're trying to distract and deflect. Okay, because again, the normal behavior, 99% of the public when they're stopped by the police is not this. So anything out of the norm is going to alert our defenses and all that.
The plate doesn't belong on this car. Do you have a license or no? Do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
Where is it at?
It's in the car.
Get it for me.
Okay, just get it for me.
The plate does not belong on this car.
Amen. Drop me my lighter right there. Right there.
Very patient, very calm. We're not in a hurry to do anything. Just give me whatever paperwork you have. It's what, 6, 7, what time was it? 8 in the morning. No big deal. Just give me what paperwork you have. Tone of voice has come down right now. Just go ahead and get it for me.
No. Stop. Put your hands right there.
Okay, now we're arrestable. I mean, he completely changed the dynamics of the situation. I now have to take this person, Chris now has to take this person into custody. You don't just walk away, you're supposed to provide me. I don't care if you're a sovereign citizen and you don't think you need to. In the state of Michigan, you can't be traveling, driving, riding in a car like this behind the wheel and not have a valid driver's license and then produce it when asked lawfully by an authority figure, the police officer. And as soon as he starts to walk away, and then now he starts to resist and turn very aggressively towards Chris. This whole thing, everything from this moment on right now is just Chris just trying to take this man into custody. And he's going to tell him to stop 7 times, as I recall from my counting. Oh, by the way, this was not an arrestable until Mr. Loyola did that. This was a no big deal traffic accident that Chris has probably done many times in the 6 years. With whites, blacks, Chinese, yellow polka dots, no big deal. No big deal until it's escalated by an individual who's intoxicated and doesn't want to go to jail.
Got one running. George, stop! Stop!
Ignore that.
Stop!
Stop. Just stop. Own up to it. You know you're wrong.
Stop! Stop!
Okay.
Get your hands behind your back!
Remind me, did Mr. Yola have a passenger in the car?
There was.
Okay, that adds to the threat level that Chris is potentially sensing. I haven't cleared the car. Chris hasn't cleared the car. I don't know what this guy is up to. This guy could come up and shoot me in the back of the head, because there are examples of that in video all over YouTube of situations just like that. So right now we have an individual who's arrestable, who's now fighting, and in the back of my head, not only do I need to control him, but I've also got to keep an eye on this passenger to make sure he doesn't bail out and try to hurt me.
Hands behind your back! Okay? Get your hands behind your back. 1950, start with more cars.
A couple times you hear him, Mr. Loyola, say okay, and for people who aren't there, you hear that and you think, well, he's acknowledging he's going to stop resisting. That's not true. If you came up to me right now, I'm going to lock my arms out, and you start trying to put my arms behind my back, I will calmly, and there are lots of videos of people doing this on YouTube. I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting, but I'm not putting my hands behind my back, and I've locked it out. And so people observing this and videotaping it, it looks like the police really wrenching on this person who's calmly saying, okay, okay, I'm not resisting. And so their perception is this person's not resisting when in fact they are. And so we hear, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you for that. Do you believe sometimes that is an involuntary response that maybe someone in that situation might be having, that like they might mentally be thinking that they aren't resisting, yet their physical body is tensing, or like the stress is putting that on? Do you think there might
I don't know. I don't know. I do know that some people, based on some of my experiences, especially when they know they have an audience, they will deliberately do that because they know their friends, relatives, and neighbors are videotaping it, and it's making them look like they're being victimized by the police.
Stop! Okay. Stop resisting!
And, back to your question, it's very possible, because remember, we're dealing with someone who's intoxicated. He has no idea the extent of his resistance and stuff like that.
I'm gonna do it to him, to you.
Our first taser deployment. Do you know why we have non-lethal tools? So that we can avoid lethal tools. This is all part of the use of force continuum. Back to the parents. At some point, maybe you have to give your kids a pow-pow, a little spanking. Use of force continuum. Right now, Chris is running out of steam. You can hear him breathing very heavily. I need to get this guy under control. If he wanted to kill someone, here's a great opportunity right here, right in the middle of a fight. We're not trying to kill people. We're just trying to bring people into justice right now and face the consequences of their behavior and actions. So now we try to deploy a taser. And I've stopped it right here where Mr. Loyola is grabbing onto it and all that. This is someone who's absolutely actively resisting with force.
Let go of the taser!
What's the problem?
Let go of the taser!
Let go. What is your problem? I don't know if you heard Mr. Loyola say that. Let go. What is your problem? That's you get that from people who are really drunk or whatever, and they're just not processing. There's what is your problem? Again, this victim mentality. Why are you assaulting me? I'm not doing anything. Yeah, you are. You're not complying with lawful authority to either give up a driver's license or just recognize you're in the wrong and just submit to going to jail, $100 bond, and you'll be out in about 3 hours. As a matter of fact, if you're nice, I won't impound the car. But now we've got this now very, very quickly becoming a life or death struggle from our perspective, because there are so many examples of situations like this since this incident that highlight the need for people to be civic-minded, responsible, law-abiding citizens, and have enough character and integrity to just recognize, okay, I'm wrong, and I've had it happen. But Chris was in an impossible situation right here. I don't know what I did or if you deliberately stopped it right there, but it's ended.
The body camera in the struggle fell off.
Okay, that's right.
So in this case, I believe it just turned off, or it was still on, but it
Okay.
didn't show anything. So GRPD stopped that feed. From
No, and that's fine. There's really, like I said, for me, I don't need to see, anything else after this in terms of the moment Miss Loyola tried to walk away and then run and then fight. You're now arrestable. I mean, I can't just go, well, okay, hey, you know what? Last seen running between the houses. Not that it didn't happen like that, but right now, no. While it seems like I have the ability to take someone into custody, while it seems like Chris is in the position to take this person into custody, he's going to try to, But then it gets to the point where you're thinking, oh my gosh, my life is going to be in danger here, because this man has not certainly given me any reason to think that he has any respect for me, So.
My question in regards to him saying, okay, or maybe feeling like they're not resisting when they are. What's your response to people who say, or maybe have experienced, like, I was nervous and I just got shooken up, or I was freaking out, so I didn't know what to do, or I was scared in that situation of something happening to me. What's your response to that?
Based on my life experiences, I think that is a comment people will make, try to defend their behavior. I have not ever run into someone who could not, as shook up as they may have been or whatever, just understand to put your hands behind your back, or to stop what you're doing, or to drop what's in your hand. That's my experience. So what happens is, after the dust settles, well, I was in fear for my life. I just got scared. Come on. I'm not saying that there's a certain amount of anxiety when you're pulled over by the police. I get it too. I've been pulled over since I retired, going a little bit too fast on Lake Michigan Drive. There's this very natural little sense of anxiety when you're suddenly having contact with the police or any lawful person. You are going to have a little bit of adrenaline dump if all of a sudden you get a text message from your boss or whatever. Hey, come up to my office, and that's all it says. Just that immediate little dump. It could be no big deal. They just want to tell you something in person, but just this, come up to the office right now. It just is very natural, primitive, our survival instinct. Why? Why couldn't you just call me? Why couldn't you just email me? Whatever, And so I personally, based on my own experiences, don't believe that the shock to the system of being stopped by the police and all that rises to the level where they absolutely end up doing this at all, especially when you're told 7 times. And at some point, if you weren't so drunk, you would have processed, okay, just okay, and then just submit and become compliant. Chris told him 7 times to stop, once to drop the taser, to let go of the taser, and then drop 4 times. I guess he was referring to the taser also. Impossible situation. Very, 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 very tragic, but impossible situation.
Yeah, I mean, really the only other thing, Lauren, if you want, it's obviously the passenger video, because the passenger video shows a little more of the power dynamic of the struggle. I know in the prelim they talk about that at one point. I believe Christopher Scheer's legs are both off the ground as they're on top of you. Do you want to look at that real fast, or?
I don't need to see it other than based on what you just told me. Oh my gosh.
Sure, yeah,
that,
just, so
yeah.
back to that, right? So in the passenger video during the prelim, when I was there and looking through this. One of the arguments was, so Leoya is about on the ground, I think on his knees. So he's, and then Sure is on top of him in there. And they argued at one point that basically the struggles, the dynamic, both of his feet are off the ground. He only has one at a time. You know, he's fully extended. Just break down the body language of how that would relate to that.
You know, that absolutely reinforces into Chris, and it would have happened to me too, that my life is in absolute danger now. I mean, this is a very strong person. I'm running out of steam. I'm carrying all this gear. I'm running out of steam. He is absolutely fighting. And this, again, is one of those examples where there's no way I am going to sound melodramatic by telling you you're going to feel like your life is in danger. Until you have actually been in that situation where you have absolutely done everything you could to just simply de-escalate a situation and simply do your job, there's no way you're going to understand where all of a sudden, in a flash, you absolutely are convinced right now that this man is going to hurt you if and when he gets the chance. And so in that type of power struggle right there, when Loyola, I remember now, he's doing push-ups and lifting himself off the ground, and Chris is just there for a ride. And he's a little, what, 150, 160 pound little guy right here, and he's running out of steam, carrying an extra 30-some pounds, and Loyola is doing a push-up with him on his back with ease. This whole dynamic right here is absolutely, for any police officer found in that situation, and I've been there also, you're going to be convinced this person will hurt me if and when he gets the chance.
Riley's analysis of the video comes from his procedure called the use of force continuum. It's a framework that he assigns all escalation and de-escalation tactics to. Take a listen.
There's a thing called the use of force continuum, right? A series of points and moments in a situation that will dictate what any person in a position of authority is going to say or do next. Starting with presence, your presence. For example, as a parent, parents go through this use of force continuum every day. As a matter of fact, someone this morning probably used their presence to gain some type of compliance or control over their children this morning, or a supervisor did. Use of force continuum is a universal thing for anyone in a position of authority. So let me compare it so that to a parent. You hear some kids acting, you hear your kids acting up in the side room. You get up and you stand at the doorway. As a matter of fact, all of us can probably remember when our parents did that. We're getting into a little squabble with our brother and sister. All of a sudden we look over there, mom and dad standing there. Boom, it straightens us out. But let's say that we don't straighten out. The squabbling continues. Well, now we take it to the next level. Now some type of loud verbal command. Hey, what are you guys doing? Usually that will distract them enough from what they're doing. Oh, mom and dad are here. Okay, and let me just settle down. Police officers will do the same thing. In this case, Chris saw that we had a traffic stop, a legitimate traffic stop. By his presence, activating his lights and all that, he initiates a traffic stop. As he's stepping out of the car, Mr. Loyola jumps out of the vehicle. That oftentimes is a very, very dangerous thing, because there are numerous examples of a situation like that becoming either a gunfight or a foot chase. So right off the bat, you can hear Chris using his tone of voice. Hey, stay in the car. And once he realized that even though Mr. Loyola didn't get back into the car, he's assessing the situation and recognizing, okay, wait a minute, he's not running, he's not shooting, let me just talk to him. And you can hear Chris's tone of voice just drop. Hey, where's your driver's license? Completely changed, because we can go up and down the use of force continuum. Back to the parent. Let's say all of a sudden now the kids ignore your presence and they ignore your loud tone of voice and they continue arguing and fighting. Well, now you got to take it to the next level. The parent has to get in there and now physically lay hands on people and separate them. So you can see how we're going right down this chain of use of force continuum. Chris goes up there and asks him for his driver's license. It's in the car, and you can hear Chris very calmly say, all right, just give it to me. Right up until this moment, it is a no big deal traffic stop. I have been in numerous traffic stops where someone, I think the traffic stop was an unregistered vehicle. I have stopped so many people because they have multiple cars. They got distracted. They put the wrong registration sticker on the wrong plate. Well, I don't know that until I talk to you. And then, hey, we figured it out. Okay, hey, when you get the chance, figure it out. Boom, no ticket, just fix it. This whole thing could have been done as soon as Mr. Loyola just simply produced his driver's license or whatever. Unfortunately, in this case, he doesn't have a driver's license. Chris's job, mandated by local, state, and federal laws, statutes, policies, and procedures, well, now I possibly have to arrest you. I got to assume you don't have a driver's license. The two most commonly used words by police officers when trying to gain a certain amount of compliance and the de-escalate a situation is stop and drop. The moment you don't do any of those things, you're taking this up the chain on this use of force continuum. And here's the thing about conflict de-escalation. As a subject matter expert and a certified crisis intervention specialist and a police officer for 20 years in Grand Rapids, I can tell you right now there is no such thing as a single word or phrase that will just de-escalate a situation. It ultimately comes down to that person choosing to change their behavior and their reaction and accept what's going on.
Christopher Schur is charged with second-degree murder and will stand trial Monday, April 28th. We'll bring